Hi,
Hi.
Marissa. I'm Ariana. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet
I
you.
love your hair. As you
Oh,
see, I'm team curly as
team
well.
curly hair. Yeah.
So, how did you become a part of the show?
Oh, it was a very long, drawn out process, me getting this part. No, it wasn't. My husband, Judah Miller, created the show with Pete and Dave Cyrus. So I was like, I'm in this show, is how I was in this show. And I was like, you're putting me in this or I'll divorce you. That's why I'm on the show.
Have you guys ever worked together before?
We have because you know what? Coincidentally, we both did Stacked, but we were already dating Stacked. I didn't push that Judah. Judah didn't push me. We just both happened to get hired on Stacked. That's how long I've been with my husband. Like if you date that, it's almost 20 years. Um, and I worked with it. I was on Crashing. I was on Playing House. We definitely have a very good working relationship and also a very good marriage where if I'm available to work on the show he's doing, I'm going to work on it.
Well, how did the decision come about that you were going to play a character and not just like a hidden version of yourself?
Oh, good question. That's a great question. You know what? When Edie Falco signed on to play Pete's mom, I was like, oh my God, I want to be Edie Falco's friend. Like just because like it's Edie Falco. So I just wanted to work with Edie so much. And also like, obviously I would love to work with Pete, but like, where am I in Pete's world? It's like, I'm I'm his mom's friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I fit in his world.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like, that's what I was like, I want to work with Edie as like, as a woman who's grew up watching Edie and like loving her. It's like to get to be on camera with her it was incredible. So that's honestly how it happened. I'm sure like
Yeah.
I think throughout like different drafts my part was different things, like sometimes I was a relative, sometimes it definitely changed, but then that's where it landed.
Yeah. Well, you do pop up in the wedding in
Yes.
2001. So you have been friends with Edie for quite
Yes.
some time in this scenario, his
Yeah.
mom.
Because when I read that wedding scene, I was like, I read the wedding episode. So like I think like everyone has a favorite different episode. I think that's what's kind of cool about this show. Everybody sort of like picks one as their favorite because they're all so different. And I read the wedding episode and I was like, oh my God, that wedding episode is so incredible. I'm like, I really want to be in there somewhere. Like, like that's why I just pop up like because I'm like, it's just so it was my favorite one to read. They did such a great job and it's so full of heart and Pete's story is so heartbreaking and beautiful and I just really was like, I want to be part of the wedding. So yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy that like it actually happened because like we see the pictures in the past. Like I couldn't imagine that you lose your father and then it's a wedding a week later. It was just
Yeah.
very bizarre and it's interesting how you can kind of take tragedy into comedy, but it's still tragic at the same time. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
a
I think the
balance.
best comedy, to be honest, like I think the best comedy is usually tragic, right? I definitely find that like I think they really that's why it's like the masks are tragedy and comedy. It's like they really walk hand in hand. And I think like that's what this show does so well because it is a comedy, but if you don't feel something and you don't cry, then you're like dead inside. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so poignant and it's so like heartfelt and going through the journey with Pete, you see so much. And I think it's like you understand, even though obviously it's very heightened, it's not exactly Pete's life. And it's not some things are, but some things are heightened and some things are made for comedy. But like you can feel his journey, you know?
Yes. So what was it like to shoot the basketball scene with Edie, Kenan, and LaLa? It was just a very
Oh,
interesting
oh
scene.
my God. Well, LaLa had the greatest nails. I was just like fascinated. LaLa's nails, I swear to God, and I'm a nail girl. I love nails. LaLa's nails were amazing. And they had doubles because there was like, there was combat and there was like, she like gets hit in the basketball. And her doubles nails were almost as long. They weren't as long. It was so, listen, getting to work with all of them on one night was just so fun and funny. And LaLa, honestly, LaLa and Edie like were full in, like full out, just like doing the basketball. No, the choreography of the basketball, it was like a dance, right? Because you really, there wasn't like oh, I feel like I'm going to do this because then someone could get hurt, So they both did such a great job. Actually, everyone on set was very like organized and calm and made sure that no one got hurt. And then Kenan came in and like literally was just like waiting to say his lines and like was standing watching, laughing, and then came up, like nailed his line. Like honestly, if they took 2 takes, it was for safety. Like perfect the first time. Like Kenan is so funny. And I was like, this is so funny. I couldn't wait for my brother to see Kenan say those lines just because I knew everybody would laugh, right? So it was an interesting, very, very long night, but it was really fun.
Yes. Of course, you're obviously known for Broadway, but you have done a lot of comedy and drama as well. What kind of attracts you to comedy?
Oh, I think it's what we talked about in the beginning. I think that like I think the best comedy is something that like sneaks up on you and like breaks your heart. I think I love doing comedy. My favorite kind for me to act in would be when I like someone else has the joke, to be honest. Like I like being the straight person in the comic, like where I just like blindly blink at them while they say something funny and I just like let them go. That's like I'm always really good for a setup. Like I love that kind of comedy. My favorite kind of comedy is like, "Yeah, I'll give you the ball and you like dunk it," because it's just like I love that.
Which literally actually happens.
I know exactly what really happens in the show. Yeah.
Yes. So we're actually almost about to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of you winning your Tony for Hairspray. What do you think that Marissa would think of this Marissa, and vice versa? What do you think of this
Oh my
Marissa
gosh.
20 years ago?
Gosh. Well, I'm so proud of that Marissa. This Marissa is like, man, you had a lot of energy. Like you were killing it. I think like I definitely look back and think about that time 20 years ago and just like I'm so proud of everything that she did because there was so much going on in my life, but I like kept it together and did my show and like I was one of the people who I will say everything, all the opportunities that came with it, I was there for it. I appreciated every single solitary moment. There was never like, I don't look back. I've had jobs now that I look back and I'm like, oh man, I should have like enjoyed that more, I enjoyed everything, they'd be like, do you want to sing on Letterman? I'm like, I'm there. Do you want to light the Christmas tree? I'm there. Like, I was like, I loved it so much and I appreciated everything. And I knew how important it literally was all my dreams, like it was every dream that I had growing up all happened in Hairspray. And then looking forward, the woman that I've become, it's like my child is turning 15. At the time I was doing Hairspray, I had found out I had cancer and I didn't know if I was going to ever have a kid. And I was like, I love Judah, but like he wasn't very interested in me. And I was a little much for him. I'm a lot. And so if I look that and go, oh my God, I got married and I had a son. Like I never thought I'd have a son. And like Judah, who like I loved and I was like, you should be a writer. And he's like, I want to be a writer. And like now how successful he is, it's just like as a partner and as a mother, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so like, proud of what we've created as a family and it evolved together. So yeah,
That's so crazy. It's like you never know how big your life can be, even when you're at what you think is your biggest moment.
100%. Like that, I never thought anything could be better or bigger than Hairspray. And like and obviously like my son is better and bigger than Hairspray. And he's like turning 15 this year. And it's like, he's so cool and awesome. And like, he's his own person. And, he's not just a little bit of me and Judah. He's literally his own thing. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I love the show and I can't wait to see you on future projects and talk to you about those as well.
Thank you so much. A wonderful interview. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thanks.